more often than not, we get new equipment and the maintenance is lacking. But under Lucia's management, I can be sure that maintenance will not be lacking. But please, these electronic equipment always have certain guiding principles in terms of maintenance. After use for a certain number of hours, you should oil it. After use for a certain number of hours, you should change the battery. After use for a certain number of hours, you should price them. So I think follow the various service manuals and make sure that these equipment and consumables are maintained according to the instructions so that they can last long. Presenting this to the Chief Executive Officer of DVLA. These are all hardware. The consumables are behind us so that they will be used to advance the course of DVLA. Make sure that we can improve the services in security and in safety. Thank you very much. Thank you.
This was an ambitious program. We're still on that program. The goal is at the end of the day to have an autonomous, efficient DVLA. It's a long journey. We're in about the 5th year, and we had some successes. We have some lessons learned, and we continue to move along. But in the journey, we've also learned some things. We realized that to keep equipment and consumables in readiness for printing of licenses is something that is an infusion of a lot of investment. And so what is happening today is like a call that has been heard and the augmentation of what we're trying to do. The PSRRP have not only given us equipment and consumables, they've given us buses to augment what we're trying to do. So it's a welcome, very welcome infusion of what we're trying to do and encouragement of where we're trying to go. And so as we go into the 5th and 6th year, we know that equipment and technology infusion, consumables always need replacement, maintenance, and so forth. So this relationship that we have with you, we hope will continue, not just for this ceremony and this occasion, but you continue to lead us and guide us into the future as we go into the platform of being an autonomous public service entity which is efficient in providing optimal service to our customers. And so we hope that we'll continue to have you backing us up and guiding us as we go forward. Today is special also for the reasons that as we ambitiously embarked on the transformation, we're now on the curb of what they call 4th Industrial Revolution. You can't be a regulator without understanding what is happening in the real world. You can only regulate what we know. And so we are also looking on the cusp of the things that are coming, emerging technologies, and how we can be leading the effort in providing the service that we so desire to give to our customers. How is that going to be done? Investment in technology. How is that going to be done? We need leadership of your kind and the guidance of your kind. And so we welcome you to this ceremony where we are also letting you know that this is not a one-time thing. We'll always be looking up to you to guide us into the future as we move forward, making our nation strong. So thank you very much for being here this morning and helping us.
And we realize that the institutions will have to be improved. So the Office of the Senior Presidential Advisor, it was then called the Office of the Senior Minister, and then the Public Sector Reform Secretariat decided to put together a national public sector reform strategy. And the purpose of the strategy is to ensure the improvement and accountability of service delivery to Ghanaians. And as a result of that, a document was put together called National Public Sector Reform Strategy, and it was launched by the President in August 2018. It is out of this strategy and under one of the pillars called digitalization that we realized DVLA will be part of us. And it is out of this strategy that we developed the Public Sector Reform for Resource Project with the World Bank. So the Office of the Senior Presidential Advisor, then called Office of Senior Minister, and the Public Sector Reform Secretariat started to look for assistance. And we got to the World Bank and they offered us this assistance of 35 million, now cut to 32 million US dollars. So we decided to pilot some few institutions that we believe will be the starting point for our reform process. So we put together 16 institutions, but it is now cut to 13 institutions. One of them is DVLA. So DVLA is an important part of our project called PSRRP. And under it, DVLA is being helped to improve its operations. So we've offered a lot of assistance to that of the DVLA, including the vehicles that we procure. And in addition, we saw that DVLA also needs an equipment because DVLA would like to print the licenses and other documents in-house instead of outsourcing them. But previously, these important documents, most of them were outsourced. So we decided to put together such a system to equip DVLA. Already DVLA had 2 of such equipment, which they acquired in 2017. And I'm told it has a lifespan of 5 years. So we believed very soon they will be out of use. So we decided that under this project, we are to replace them so that you have a very smooth running of the DVLA. And as a result of that, we acquired the equipment that we have given to you today, that we are going to show to the public today, that this is what we are giving to you to improve the running of the DVLA. Now that we are doing digitalization and we are going to have one Ghana card, that we are going to build the national database ecosystem, I believe that each institution must be capacitated to have control over its own database. And that is why it is very necessary that we provide such an equipment. But my assurance is that it is not the end. DVLA must still make a case for improvements, and the project and the Office of the Senior Presidential Advisor is prepared to assist. So thank you very much. That is all that I have.
Road transportation is the main source of engineering our economy. If you go to Germany, it is rail transportation. If you go to UK, it is rail transportation. If you go to Amsterdam, it is a river, it's water. So depending on where you are, on what type of topography, the nature that has been provided to you, it determines your mode of transportation. The economy develops because you must move goods and services. That's where transportation is key. Since our main means of transportation is road, agencies like DVLA are key to the growth of the economy. Because if the means of transportation is not efficient, the economy cannot be run efficiently. And the means of transportation, equipment and human beings. People are created to drive trains, cars, trucks, etc. And somebody should regulate, somebody should qualify people to drive. And therefore it is important
And I'm happy to say that the list of 13 institutions we wanted to help, the number one on the list, I didn't put them there. It was DVLA. I saw the list coming from Washington. The number one on the list was DVLA. It gives you an idea about what others also think about. The main vehicle for moving our economy is road transport. So we want to tell you, the DVLA people, that you have a very responsible job to perform. Because for the economy to grow, for the economy to work safely, your role is paramount. And therefore, in modern times, we need to modernize. We need to be competitive. You cannot be modernized using old equipment. These days, thanks to Dr. Baumia, is digitalization. We want to do things and do them in such a way that you even remove the human error, because you have them in electronic form and it works. So far, people talk reasonably very well about the DVLA, I must say. Since I got interested in this project, I've been asking about various institutions we are assisting. There are 13 of them. And I will say that in terms of change, which is visible to the public, DVLA is now being acclaimed by the public as there's a lot of improvement in DVLA. Congratulations. You provide services to the nation, and your services really is very important to the economy, because you are moving goods and services. It's your institution that is supervising that activity. And since the main activity, the main methodology using to move goods and services in Ghana is road, then your role is key. Sometimes you wake up and you read stories about accidents, 1 accident, 10 dead, so and so, and you feel chilled. You have a role to make sure that this road transportation is carried out with security and safety, because human lives are involved in this movement. That's how your role as a regulator, your role as qualifying people to move goods and services is key. If you qualify the wrong people, if people cannot see well, are qualified to run, we are going to be in trouble. And there are so many people who are running, who are driving, who are not aware that they have even a problem with their eyes. The drivers are not even, they don't know that they are short-sighted. They don't know. You must do the test to find out. And it doesn't mean you will not be allowed to drive. You will be allowed to drive, but you must wear glasses. If you see people wearing glasses, it's not for fashion. It's for a function. So I think we are so happy that out of the 13 institutions we are assisting, now I'll give you the list of the 13, and the order in which they were arranged for me. I didn't do this order. Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority, 1. 2 is Passport Office. 3 is Birth and Death Registry. 4 is Ministry of Transport. You see the relationship between DVLA and transport. We are all there because of the need for a very efficient means of moving goods and services. Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, Ministry of Environment, Science and Technology, Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development, Office of the Head of Civil Service, Public Service Commission, Commission for Human Rights and Administrative Justice, Monitoring and Evaluation Secretariat, formerly Ministry of Monitoring and Evaluation, National Information Technology Agency, NITA, and Public Sector Reform Secretariat. That is the area that is providing these services. They must all be modernized. Our aim is to make sure that DVLA provides services with certain targets. And I was told that 90% of applications will be notified and issued a driving license within 45 days of passing the driving test. You are aiming at this. So those days where you have to be on a planquet for years before you can become a driver, I think it's passing. Now people go to driving school. Am I right? That is more the methodology now. At first you couldn't become a driver without serving as aplanqué, a mate for quite some time, sometimes 5 years, before you are allowed even to hold the steer. But now you go to a driving school and you are taught all the ethics of driving. The average time to register a vehicle is reduced from 6 hours to 1 hour. This is a tall order. From 6 hours to 1 hour. If DVLA does this, let's give them a clap. And if they haven't done it, we are encouraging them to do it. We want them to move from 6 hours to 1 hour. It's a tall order. And I can assure you, when it's done that way, it's going to improve the growth of the economy. Because it means services will be delivered faster than it is. So the growth of the economy will also be faster. The whole thing is interrelated. So I think we're here to provide you with certain equipment, and they have two types. One will be hardware, then we have what we would describe as the consumables. Things which you consume and you have to dispense with and replace them. The hardware would belong. And on the consumables, we are going to have holographic patch 400. We are going to have YMCK color ribbon. You know what a ribbon is? It's a type of cloth that has the various colors in. We are going to have thermal ribbon as well. We are going to have adhesives, cleaning tips. When you are using all this, there must be that continuous cleaning to make sure that the quality of the service is there. And last but not the least, we are going to have cleaning swab kit 150. We want you to go digital. We want you to provide a service that is cute. Exact. So please, Mr. Busia and his team, cute service. Let people appreciate it. And with the enthusiasm I'm seeing in this hall, I'm happy that we shall be there. But always bear in mind that this economy depends on the road sector for transportation, for movements of personnel, goods, and services. Therefore, your efficiency is paramount to pilot the growth of the economy. That's why they put you one in the list of 13 to be aided. I believe in your leadership, and I'm hoping that a year's time, when I come around, people will talk of you before I come. Because the drivers, the drivers everywhere, they talk, they are frank people. We'll be talking, DVLA, and this is a Kano. I went to DVLA office in Ona about a week ago, and I was amazed. The first comment that I heard from one of them was, that assistant went to Kano. Do you understand that? The DVLA today is not like the previous DVLA. It has changed and changed for better. And that itself was good, coming from a driver who would come there to change his driving license. He was commending. So I was so impressed, and I'm happy that I'm here to provide you with this support to modernize, to get it, and provide better service, because we need you for growth. That's important. And this economy must grow if we are to solve the unemployment problem. This economy must grow, and grow quick. So anything that helps with growth in the economy, we must all make sure that it does its work well. Chief Executive Officer, staff of DVLA, we are here to support you to aid the economy to grow and grow fast so that we can also provide the other services which are needed. Thank you very much for giving this impression about yourself and continue to improve. Thank you very much.
Please subscribe to Morris TVGH.